Put a finger down if you are a celebrity with a net worth of over $1 billion and you recently posted a video to social media from the comfort of your 11,000 square foot home where you were sobbing incoherently because illegal immigrant murderers, rapists, gang members, and schmarrists were being sent back to their country, and you said through a hysterical wave of tears that these heinous, depraved criminals are your people and pledged to do everything in your power to keep them in America. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. I appreciate you being here. Do me a couple favors, hit the thumbs up button, become a subscriber if you're not already, and help me to grow this channel, and turn on your notifications so that you never miss out on a conversation like the one we're about to have. Before we start the conversation, I'd like to listen to a brief clip about how deportations of illegal immigrant criminals are necessary and lawful, and hopefully it will help anyone who thinks Trump is abusing his power to understand what's going on.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century. And to those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better, or question the wisdom of me acting where Congress has failed, I have one answer. Pass a bill.
We are still on the subject of the mass deportations that have been going on for the last week. And just so we're clear about what's been going on, as both Trump and Tom Homan have said repeatedly during interviews between November 6th, right after Trump was elected, and January 19th, right before Trump was officially sworn in, their first targets of these mass deportations, which are only necessary because of the Biden administration leaving our borders open for the last 4 years, the first targets would be criminals, gang members, and schmarrists. All of the heinous people who have been wreaking havoc on innocent American citizens for a long time. And per this article from January 22nd, 2 days after Trump was sworn in, it seems that their efforts have been effective. It says ICE arrested 308 illegal migrants, including attempted murderer and a child molester, on Trump's first day in office. It says the ICE man cometh. Federal officers swept into sanctuary cities on President Trump's first full day in office Tuesday, nabbing more than 300 illegal migrant criminals, including an attempted murderer and a child molester, to hold them for deportation, the Post has learned. The Coast to Coast Dragnet, a multi-agency effort led by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, picked up felons in and around Boston, Denver, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Seattle, Washington, D.C., and Miami, a senior Trump administration official said. It was just the start of what border czar Tom Homan has promised will be a renewed effort to boot 700,000 illegal migrants who have committed crimes from the U.S., and sanctuary cities will not be spared. Homan has said ICE officers have compiled a target sheet of the illegal migrants with criminal records whom they're looking to arrest and deport. Quote, so they're out there right now looking for the most serious public safety threats and throughout the country. We're putting them back to work, Homan said of ICE. Now, we know exactly how this was going to all play out, and that criminals and gang members have been targeted and they're being kicked out. Keep that in mind. So can someone please explain to me why Selena Gomez posted this hysterical, nonsensical video a couple of days ago, sobbing uncontrollably about what has happened in these operations?
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. Only people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything. I promise.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this video going around on social media and watched it without sound and without reading what people were saying about it, my first initial thought was that she was crying because she felt really bad about her egregious participation and performance in the movie Amelia Perez. And if you have not heard of that movie or seen any trailers or reactions to it, I just have to say, buckle up. But in case you missed what she was saying through all of the snot and the tears, she said, all of my people are being attacked. The children, I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything. I I promise. I don't think it can ever be overstated how uninformed about 99% of the people in Hollywood are. We know that no one is being attacked, and no children have been part of this situation so far, unless she's sad about the children that went missing under the Biden administration, under border czar Kamala Harris's supervision. In that case, yeah, hundreds of thousands of children were attacked. In that case, Selena should be really glad that within less than a week, almost 80,000 of those children were located.
Tom Homan, the border czar for Trump, has told me about, and all of this will focus on those missing children, hundreds of thousands of them that we know. And that number has started to already come down, Emily, from 300,000. So they've found about 75 to 80,000 of those kids already. If they can get the list of these guys, 4 full days in office for Trump, if they can get the list of where some of those kids have been, and they've been identifying it, since the election, going after them and trying to find those little ones, what in the world was Biden's administration doing? What was Secretary of Homeland Mayorkas doing when he said to the committees on Capitol Hill, we don't know where those kids are, I'll look into it? No, dude, you obviously had a better way to find them, and you didn't do your job.
That's what Selena Gomez should be crying about, but she's not. And I do think it's important to add clarification that found does not mean rescued yet. They have been located. So I'm sure that we will start to get more details about where these kids have been. And I'm sure once we find out what they've been through, we'll all be feeling at least a little bit of what Selena Gomez just demonstrated. Except while she's crying over their captors and torturers being taken into custody, we'll be crying tears of joy that they've been rescued from unimaginable horror. And then Tom Homan responded to this ridiculous video himself.
She posted a video sobbing. She was crying in it. She said, all my people are getting attacked, with the picture of a Mexican flag. Again, she has now taken that down. But what do you say to those who are out there saying that these are everyday people, these are families that are being attacked and dragged out of their homes? How do you respond to that?
I don't think we arrested any families. We've arrested public safety threats and national security threats, bottom line. And look, President Trump won the election on this one issue, securing our border and saving lives. What happened on our southern border last 4 is the biggest national security threat this country's seen, at least in my lifetime, because we got over 2 million known gotaways. We got a 600% increase in sex trafficking. We got a record number of terrorists crossing the border on the terrorist watch list. We have 250,000 Americans dying from fentanyl coming across the open border. We're going to do this job, and we're going to enforce the laws of this country. If they don't like it, then go to Congress and change the law. We're going to do this operational apology. We're going to make our community safer. We're going to save. Once we lock that border on continuous operation, you're going to see fentanyl deaths decrease, illegal alien crime decrease, sex trafficking decrease. It's just all for the good of this nation, and we're going to keep going. No apologies. We're moving forward.
And I did think the use of the words her people was especially ridiculous. And it shows that Selena Gomez has absolutely no idea what's going on. Because if she knew that it was these deeply depraved individuals who had been the only ones that have been arrested so far, she probably wouldn't have referred to them as her people. Unless she did mean it, in that case, that's even more concerning. Using the term my people is usually in reference to a group of people who have a shared culture, ethnicity, background, or shared set of values. When you refer to a group as your people, it's because there's something fundamental about who you are that aligns you with them. And there are always individuals within a community that do things that do not represent the values of the community or culture, and it is your job to call them out and to not align yourself with them. It's your job to reject their actions, not use children as a shield to protect them. And of course, we're all wondering, where were these tears when it came to the victims of these heinous criminals? Where were the tears for Laken Riley as she had her head bashed in while she was just trying to go for her morning run? Or mother of 5, Rachel Morin? Or 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare? This lady, in response to Selena Gomez, shared a situation about something that happened in her area, and I believe it's New York, where the sanctuary laws that are put in place by these Democrat politicians have protected these guys from being deported and have also allowed them to be released repeatedly back into these cities to continue to assault and terrorize innocent people. The story is a little bit hard to listen to, so fast forward a couple of minutes if you don't want to hear it. It's not graphic, but the nature of it is definitely upsetting.
Hi, Ms. Gomez. So a few hundred million of us saw your video where you were obviously emotionally outraged at the Trump deportations. You were saying things in your video like, my people, the children, I don't know what else to do. They are deporting them. They are mistreating them. Story time, Ms. Gomez. I live here in New York City, In June of 2024, there was a 13-year-old girl with her 13-year-old male classmate walking home from school in the middle of the afternoon. They like to do things like make videos on TikTok and play video games and just be 13. They decided to take a shortcut through a park, middle of the day, between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. in the afternoon. They stumbled upon Christian Inga. He's an Ecuadorian migrant. He pulled out a weapon, which the children say appeared to be a machete. He demanded that the children follow him into a wooded area in the park in the middle of the day between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. They were just on their way home. They were walking through a park that they always walk through, and they stumbled upon this illegal person who was not supposed to be here. He then ordered them to take off their shoes. He tied up the boy and gagged him, took their cell phones, and he assaulted that little girl, 13 years old. And when he was done, he tied her up and gagged her and took their cell phones and left them there. That 13-year-old girl, her life will never be the same. He was caught because street justice in New York City is the best. And they caught him days later. But that little girl, her life has been changed forever. She had to go through a series of testing to make sure she didn't contract anything during the assault. And she's getting therapy. But again, she'll never be the same girl she left the house being that morning.
And I think this woman kind of side-eyed the justice system in New York, saying that street justice is what gets things done, because it seems like this kind of thing has just become a normal way of life, not just with illegal immigrants, but people being attacked and assaulted as they're just trying to live their lives and go about their day, who are not being protected by the very party that repeatedly say, no one is above the law, and wanted us to vote for the very woman who oversaw the disaster that Trump and his administration are having to clean up now. And people are seeing right through this crap.
Billionaire sitting in your mansion sobbing that people that are illegal migrants are getting deported back to their country. And then having the nerve to call those people your people, even though you were born in America and are an American. And the only reason why you are a billionaire is because of the exact capitalistic privilege that this country has provided you. Meanwhile, anytime that you're out and about, you're surrounded by security. So you're so out of touch and you don't even know how dangerous this country has become. And then to turn around and say, oh, I guess it's not okay for me to have empathy. Babe, have empathy for the parents that actually lost their children.
And that was pretty much the sentiment of every single person that responded to Selena Gomez and her tears. The only person that I saw expressing any support of her was Don Lemon.
So now we live in a time where Selena Gomez, even though she is, a wealthy star, she can't have an opinion. She can't post online how she feels about deportations and immigration without being made fun of by the far right or the MAGA folks. What is going on here? This is not what America's about. This is not patriotic. She deserves to be able to have her own opinion. And just like everybody else, just like you folks who are criticizing her, she can state her feelings online, on social media, just like you are.
First of all, if Don Lemon is the only person on the internet supporting your actions, I think that calls for some serious self-reflection. Second of all, we know that this is not just about somebody expressing an opinion. This is about somebody getting online who expresses outrage from a place of clear delusion and with a total disconnect from what is actually going on, because she didn't cry over Jocelyn Nungaray. She didn't cry over anybody else being targeted by these people. She hasn't cried about the countless people in Chicago and New York talking about how their school systems have been completely overrun, how they can't just go about their daily lives without being attacked or assaulted, how millions of American citizens have demanded answers from the Biden administration and from the people who have caused this mess about why it's happening and why they're doing nothing to solve it. The only time these celebrities express emotion or concern about anything that is going on in our country, it is directly in response to talking points and things that do not align with the reality of the situation. And that's where the mockery is coming from. And it is pure hypocrisy to lecture people about what America stands for when you're defending somebody who is crying about murderers and rapists who shouldn't be here, being deported from the country, yet have nothing to say about the egregious actions and opening our border that led to this situation. But Selena says that she wants to help, and there are ways that she can do that. She could look at the innocent families who perhaps have contributed to society and have been here for a long time, but maybe haven't been able to afford the legal fees to go through the citizenship process. And she can afford to sponsor a few of them. But when she says she promises to do everything she can, that's a lie. She has the means to actually do something to help these people. She could start an entire foundation for people's legal fees and immigration costs. Yet, the only thing that she can think of to do is cry on the internet. Again, these people are hysterical and they are so deeply, deeply out of touch. And not to bring it back to Kamala Harris's campaign, but it shows how deeply out of touch she was, because these are the very people that she relied on throughout her whole campaign to connect with us, to tell us what mattered. And this is exactly why the Democrats lost. But they'll never acknowledge it, which is why they'll just continue to lose. Because it just seems like anybody who has a voice or a platform for the Democrat Party lives in a total state of delusion where narcissism is the personality trait needed for admission and consistent dedication to the lies is the monthly fee. And just as a side note, can we normalize not crying on the internet? When I shed tears, it has never occurred to me to say, wait, let me get my camera and hold it in front of my face so I can post it on the internet for millions of strangers. It is a trend I will never, ever understand. It has the opposite effect than what these people are going for when they do it. They think they're showing their authentic emotions when we know it's performative. They think it's giving their argument credibility when it really makes you look manipulative and self-serving. Anyway, I would love to hear all of your thoughts on this in the comments below. Again, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you are subscribed and you can help me to grow this channel. If you would like to support my channel in other ways, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the pinned comment below. That is a $5 donation, and all of your generosity is always truly appreciated. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.